Today we will learn how to construct a perpendicular bisector. Step 1. Draw a line segment using a straight edge, approximately 10 centimeters. Okay, take your pen using your compass, draw that line segment. How am I going to... Okay, now on to step 2. Place the center point of your safety compass on endpoint A. Now that you've drawn your line segment, make sure you've labeled one endpoint A and the other endpoint B. Now we're going to take your tool, your compass, and place this end of it, this over here, make sure it's centered, and then hold it down with your finger, and you should be able to freely move the compass. Step 3, lock the compass at the distance greater than the midpoint. This part of the compass moves freely as long as it's not locked, so make sure it's not locked, open it up, and it moves freely. You need to be greater than halfway, greater than the midpoint. So in this case, we probably want to come out somewhere about 7 and lock it. And now that it's locked, you're good to go. Step 4, you're going to use the compass and pencil to draw an arc. When using the compass, you need to make sure your measurement of 7 was right here in the first hole. So use that first hole. Place your pencil in there and you're going to draw that arc all the way up, all the way down. That's what you need it to do. Step 5, using the same settings, place the center on point B and draw the other arc. Place the center on B, just like you did before. Place your finger right there like you did before. You may want to maneuver better. Make sure you're getting the first slot like you did on the other side, and you want it at 7, and draw that arc. Beautiful. Using a straight edge, draw a line through the intersections of the arc. Your compass is a straight edge. This is the intersection of the arc, and this is the intersection of the arc. So you want to use your straight edge and draw a line through the intersections. Take your time, line it up, make it beautiful because you're trying to get a perpendicular line. Step 7. Label the intersections of this line with line segment AB, point M. Also, you're going to draw the box indicating perpendicular lines. Okay. Have you labeled the endpoint M? Did you put arrows on the end of your line? Does everything look like the picture? If it does, here's the definition. The definition of a perpendicular bisector. A line perpendicular, that's 90 degrees, to and passing through the midpoint of a line segment. Now that you've learned how to construct a perpendicular bisector, let's see how that sums up. Not only is this perpendicular, it is also a bisector, which if you remember, a bisector gives you a midpoint, so it's going to cut it in half. Okay, so let's sum this up. So I have a statement here that says AM is equal to MB, and you can see this in the picture. AM is equal to MB. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. You cut that thing in half, they better be equal. Here's another math term you haven't seen yet. It's congruent. Same thing as equal, it's just a congruent statement. If something's equal, it's congruent. Okay, now that we understand congruent means equal measures, let's move to the next true statement. Here we are. AB is equal to twice MB. Well, duh, let's look at it. AB is the entire segment. MB is over here. Do you think it's twice? I do. It's a midpoint. Why wouldn't it be? And in geometry, like we do everything, we have to write every true statement. So here's the other side of that. AM is twice of AB. So let's go to the last statement. AM is half of AB. Well, let's look at it. AM, that's half of AB. So again, we get to write it twice. We get to talk about the other side. MB is also half of AB.